Missed an episode of your favorite podcast? Choose from over a decade of content in our archives, not just the latest episode. All free at gcnlive.com.
This is your call to action. Get prepared, America. Economy, survival, energy, disasters. This is USAPrepares.com. Informative radio, educational radio. Interact now by emailing instructor@USAPrepares.com or text at 434-390-7953. Class, please take your seats. Now, your instructor, Vincent Finelli.
Watch the greenbacks tumble.
Everyone all set, cocked, locked, blissed. Here we go. Your dial's set correctly to USAPrepares.com. And we're broadcasting 2 hours from high atop the Missouri Ozark Mountains. There's a link to your instructors on the website, and converging threats are confronted daily by our instructors. I'm Vincent Finelli. Dr. Norman Shealy's with us. Welcome, Dr. Shealy.
Good morning. I just wrote 90 seconds to bliss.
You just did what?
I just wrote 90 seconds to bliss.
Okay. All right. All right. Do you want to tell us about it?
Well, to me, that's the most important subject in the world.
I know. Well, I'm blissed right now. Studio smells like bliss.
I know. Well, you know, you've been blissing for several years, as I have.
Yeah. So 90 seconds to bliss, and that's actually, that's a long time for me. I would say for me, it's like
I think it's about 1/2 second for you.
Hey, Dr. Shealy, you were at the meetup on Monday, and I'll tell you what, that was a great meetup. You brought a couple of your associates, Larry and Morris, and Larry Michaels, right?
Yes. He is a fabulous, unbelievable body worker.
Can you tell us what a body worker is for those who are new to the class?
Well, you know, in general, it starts with massage, and there are many, many forms of massage, but some people go somewhat beyond just massaging the body, and they do deeper work such as myofascial release. You know, every cell every organ in the body is tied together with something called fascia. It's like a thin, wet spider web. And this allows the organs sort of to move together and to move harmoniously. But if you get an injury or an accident or an inflammation or whatever in some part, then the fascia gets tied down and scar. And so the body worker who goes much deeper than just massage finds those places that are stuck and releases them just with a deeper kind of manipulative massage. And of course, Larry goes even further into putting the body into normal posture. Most people, because of habits or accidents or whatever through life, begin to develop some restrictions in how the body moves. It can be any arm, leg, the spine, etc. And as those increase in stiffness, then our ability to function in the internal organs is affected. Irving Kaur, K-O-R-R, did some marvelous work on this way back, almost 40 years or more of the last century, showing that, for instance, 1/8 of an inch short of one leg could affect internal organs because of pressure on a spinal area that, you know, then sends nerve supplies to the organs that something's wrong. And so all of these things do affect our entire body health. It's not all psychological. It is psychological and physical and mental and biochemical, et cetera, et cetera. So all of these things work together, and the more variety that a body worker can put into what he or she does, the better the body functions.
You know, and when Larry was giving his presentation on Monday night at the meetup, Larry Michaels, that's why I asked the question about posture and innovation. So if we are slouching and our posture is, not correct, would that have an effect on our ability to be innovative? Would it have, if we're slouching, would we do less well on a school exam, for example? Would we do less well on a paper that we're writing? Would we do less well behind the microphone, for example? And so that's why I asked that question. Can you address that, Dr. Shealy?
Oh, absolutely. Basically everything affects everything. And so you put a rock in your shoe, it's going to affect your ability to walk.
Mm-hmm. And
then that is going to have ramifications all the way up to your mind, your mood, and anything that puts the body, any part of the body, out of normal balance, then goes through this little center in the brain. It's what I call the thermostat that runs the body, the hypothalamus. That's where everything is integrated. It's sort of very deep in your brain, right? Oh, if you put your finger above your eye on your forehead and go back about 4 inches deep in the brain, that's the hypothalamus. It's the relay center. It's where every physiology, biochemistry, electrical thing in your body is integrated. So there are little areas there which you could stimulate and raise your blood pressure, lower your blood pressure, change every chemistry in your body, et cetera, et cetera. Well, anytime anything is out of balance, anywhere in the body, and it can be as little as a tiny stone, not quite the size of a grain of grass, but maybe 5 times the size of a grain of grass, in your shoe, walking on that is going to send irritation all the way up to the brain, and then that can affect everything.
I'm aware of my posture behind the microphone pretty often. And I am, I have a comfortable chair, and it's padded. It has armrests on it, but I'm not using the armrests. I'm not using the seat back. I'm not relaxed. I'm sitting at the edge of my seat for 2 hours, leaning in toward the microphone. Almost as if I were on camera, giving my utmost attention to what we're doing. And I'm wondering, and I wondered, how much effect that would have on the body. Now, I'm comfortable, but I'm still not quite at attention, but pretty darn close.
Right.
Is that what I should be doing, or should I be, relaxed doing this?
Well, actually, statistically speaking, it would be healthier if you were standing. There's an interesting.
Well, that's what I do when I'm on the phone.
Right.
And when I'm on the phone, I am standing. I'm tethered to a 25-foot coiled cord to a corded landline when I'm on the phone. And I'm pacing. I'm actually, I'm getting my exercise, I guess,
well,
when I'm on the phone. So when
at least 10 years ago, someone at the Mayo Clinic demonstrated that it was extremely healthy to stand on a treadmill at 1 mile per hour all day while working on your computer. And, that's not much of movement, but it is, probably 1,000 times better than sitting.
Well, that might be similar to what I do without the keyboard and the computer. But when I'm on the phone, I try not to get distracted, and I try to, give the person I'm talking with my, attention. And but I am pacing.
Well,
and if I'm in the kitchen, it's the same thing.
Right.
25-foot cord, and I walk around the kitchen. I may pour myself a cup of coffee. I may sit at the kitchen table. We have a desk with a computer in the kitchen. I may sit there. But, I'm typically pacing, though.
Am I glad you brought up coffee, Vince? There was an interesting article today in the New York Times on the health benefits of coffee. And you may know that this has been argued for the last 60 or more years as to whether coffee
Yes, I've seen pros and cons.
And interestingly, this guy pointed out that there are numerous articles showing that black coffee is indeed healthy if you drink only 3 to 5 cups a day. But I personally can't drink black coffee. I mean, to me, it's painful. I've got to have some honey in it.
I agree.
Or I've got to have some half and half. And then he pointed out that so many of the coffee drinks are loaded with fat. Your Starbucks, this, that, and the other are, you get half a day's calories out of one of their, specialty drinks because they really are loaded with fat and sugar, which is not nearly as good as honey. On the other hand, I can't drink black coffee. I mean, I think I might just as well drink a cup of gasoline. It feels that way when it's going down. But a little honey, a little half and half, and then I can really enjoy my coffee.
Well, I don't drink coffee black either. However, what I do, and I'd like to get your medical opinion on this, is we have, for emergency purposes, for survival and preparedness purposes, powdered milk. What we do is we take the powdered milk boxes and we put them into jars. We'll call them like spaghetti sauce jars that sauce might come in, and we fill them up and then we seal them. So there's the minimum amount of oxygen that hits the powdered milk. And I'll use about a teaspoon or less of powdered milk in each cup of coffee, and that's it. No sugar, nothing else. Just a little bit of powdered milk. And we don't buy milk at the house. Maybe because we think that milk used to go bad after, let's say, 3 or 4 days when I was growing up. Now, heck, you can keep it for 3 weeks. We think they've changed the milk, or they've irradiated the milk, or they've done something to it. So we're using powdered milk, and I'm not sure if it's any better, but when we come back, can you tell us what your thought is on a teaspoon or so of powdered milk in my coffee, which is nothing else is added? Dr. Norman Shealy is with us. Norm Shealy. By now, you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration system and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
Quantitative easing, unemployment at depression levels, Europe financial system falling apart, China getting out of U.S. treasuries. At the end of 2008, the time of TARP, the national debt was at $11 trillion, gold $350 per ounce. Close to 2012, the national debt exceeded $16.4 trillion, gold doubled to $1,600 per ounce. The $20 trillion threshold for the national debt is inevitable. Politicians in Washington have a ferocious appetite for spending and stimulus. What's worse, a printing press to finance. 100 years ago, we had a gold standard to limit this madness, but now you have to adopt your own gold standard. Don't be fooled with paper promises. Get Midas Resources 10 Reasons to Buy Gold free by calling 800-686-2237. Understanding the gold and silver market may be the only insurance you could have to avoiding the next economic crisis. Call 1-800-686-2237 and order your free copy. Again, that's 800-686-2237.
A little over a year ago, I began to do a lot of research into why, even though I had a pretty good-sized meal, that I was still starving. And my research led me to a well-known fact that most of the soils that we grow our crops on here in the United States and across the industrialized world are almost completely depleted of almost all of the key minerals and trace elements that our bodies need to rebuild themselves, fight off cancer, and be healthy. I then searched out the best vitamin and mineral company out there and discovered Longevity. The Longevity products are designed to give you the real nutrition you need, and once you've got that, you don't have to eat as much to be satisfied. I've lost 37 pounds in 2 months, simply getting the vitamins and minerals I need. Check it out for yourself. It's incredible. Go to InfoWarsTeam.com today and order your first canister of Beyond Tangy Tangerine Complete Multivitamin Mineral Complex Dietary Supplement. That's InfoWarsTeam.com.
We live in a complicated society. Stressful issues are always popping up. Have you ever been treated unfairly by someone? Have you ever been overcharged for a repair? Have you ever signed a contract or a document? Worried about identity theft? How many times have you been in those unique situations where you just wanted to call an attorney to find out if you're right or wrong, or what your legal rights are? But every time you think about calling an attorney, what do you think about first? That's right. Who do you call, and how much will it cost? Our friends at Legal Shield have found a solution. With a nationwide network of 6,900 attorneys who average 19 years of experience, Legal Shield's law firms take over 40,000 calls per week helping their members. For less than $20 per month, you can have access to Legal Shield on everything from the trivial to the traumatic. Let Legal Shield stand up for your rights at lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com. Or call 855-340-SAVE, 855-340-7283.
Results will vary from case to case.
Dr. Norman Shealy is with us, and I mentioned during the last segment that I'll drink a cup of coffee and put a teaspoon of powdered milk in it. Dr. Shealy, what are your thoughts on that? Is there something that we should be concerned about regarding powdered milk, or do you think this is okay?
You know, Vince, it's such a great idea that during that break, I went to Amazon and I ordered myself a pound of dried milk powder, and I found goat dried milk powder. And so I ordered a bottle of that, too, because I'm going to try both of them. It's a lot easier than trying to keep half and half on hand.
Well, okay. What we find is, as you know, we don't get out much. We just spend a lot of time at the farm, Mrs. Finelli, and when our children are here, we just hang around the farm because there's so many things to do. There are more things to do than we have time to do them. But once a week, I'll race out to Jimmy's Egg, and I might get a few errands done during that trip to Springfield. But other than that, we don't get out much. So we'll go to Sam's Club and buy several boxes of powdered milk, and actually what we do is we wrap them additionally to keep, if we don't transfer them immediately, we'll wrap the boxes to keep air from attacking the contents, and then we'll store it in a cool, dry place. But powdered milk is really convenient for us, especially for me.
No, I like it. I like the. By the way, do you have a vacuum packer for your half-gallon jars? Yeah, we do, and we also have a vacuum pump, and it's also a refrigeration. It's a piece of refrigeration gear. So, for example, if I want to evacuate an air conditioning system that has failed, I can apply this vacuum pump to it and draw down the vacuum of let's say our tractors, our cars, our trucks, our any piece of air conditioning equipment that needs to have the water or moisture that's inside it, if it leaks, boiled off. So you boil it off by increasing the vacuum, and forces the moisture to boil off. So yes, we do. Well, yeah, actually, I vacuum pack all kinds of dried things in quart or 2-quart jars. They'll keep for 20 or 30 years.
Right. And here's something really interesting, and I'll share this with the class and try to describe it as best I can. I met a guy at a gun show a couple of years ago. And he took that very same vacuum pump that I have. And mine came from the Chinese factory tool outlet called Harbor Freight. So I needed one, and they had one on sale. And so maybe it was $130, $150, something like that. But it was their middle of the road vacuum pump. Well, this guy that I met took one of them and a pressure cooker. And he put a fitting on the pressure cooker so that he could attach the vacuum hose from the vacuum pump. And what he would do is take those canning jars, and he would put the canning jars with the contents of the can, or to be canned, in the jars, and he would leave the lid just slightly not in place. So that if you tapped the jar, the lid would go in, fall into place. And so he applied the vacuum, and he had about 6 jars in this All-American, I believe is the brand, All-American pressure cooker. Put the jars with, let's say, dried beans and whatever else he had dried in the jars. Apply the vacuum for a couple minutes. Tap the side of the All-American pressure cooker. The lids would snap into place. And then he could take the lid off the pressure cooker and everything would be vacuum sealed. It was the coolest thing. So if I can find some kind of a link to post on the website, I'll do that. But what a great way to go. You're absolutely right.
Well, to me, it's part of being prepared.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And as you mentioned being prepared, I was thinking about this train crash, yesterday.
Yeah.
Massive train crash. And I really don't want to be part of the herd that's just mindlessly hopping on the train. Everything's okay. And then all of a sudden, when there's a crash, it's a big crash. Or when there's an airline crash, it's a big crash. I try to avoid that at all costs. And I understand that you're trying to avoid that too. I guess you're going to fulfill your schedule and that's it, right?
You bet.
Yeah. Dr. Shealy and I'll be right back, right after these few short commercial announcements. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
For over 5 years, you've been hearing about the Berkey guy, so you may know a few things about him. For example, you are well aware of the superior quality and effectiveness of Berkey water filters and accessories. But did you know the Berkeys have had independent lab tests done to prove just how effective they are? It's true, and he can email you the test results. Just visit goberkey.com. You may also know that the Berkey guy has helped tens of thousands of people get better prepared. Now here's something you may not know. GoBerkey.com has amazing specials and deals all the time on a wide variety of survival and preparedness products, most ready to ship same day. Visit the Berkey Guy at GoBerkey.com and be sure to click the red Products on Sale Now button. You can always call toll-free 877-886-3653. Again, that's 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com, home of the Berkey Guy.
The Genesis Communications Network is one of America's premier broadcasters of captivating talk radio. We thank you for listening. Now, just imagine, there are thousands of people who are just as passionate about radio as you are. But what you may not realize is how easy and affordable it is to advertise with us. Radio commercials for your business could be heard on hundreds of radio stations across the U.S. every day. We can help you by creating an effective radio advertising campaign for your company. From script writing to producing your your commercial, just like the one you're listening to right now. No other network provides the level of customer service we do. When it comes to radio advertising, we are your one-stop shop. And no matter how big or small your business is, we can help. Email us at advertise@gcnlive.com, and an experienced advertising executive will help you take the first step towards driving more customers to your business or website. Advertise@gcnlive.com. Easy, affordable, effective.
If the IRS has garnished your paycheck or seized money from your bank account, you need to get professional tax help now. Fast action is required to put a halt to these aggressive IRS collection tactics. You can count on the knowledgeable team of tax professionals at Wall & Associates. With over 30 years of experience, Wall & Associates has settled the tax problems of thousands of taxpayers for a small fraction of what they owed. For a free face-to-face consultation, call 1-800-425-4610 to put a wall between you and the IRS. 1-800-425-4610, or look for us on the web at wallandassociates.net. We solve tax problems. If you hire Wall & Associates today, you'll never have to talk to the IRS again. To stop the levies and seizures today, take action now. Call Wall & Associates at 1-800-425-4610. Wall & Associates, 1-800-425-4610. Based on actual cases, results may vary, not a solicitation for legal services.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows, pause and rewind live TV, even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
Class Dr. Norman Shealy's with us, and I received an email from Dr. Shealy, the same ones that many of you get multiple times per week. I just received one, and it says Foundations of Health. Norm Shealy, MD, PhD. And Dr. Shealy, you talk about you've spent well over half of your life working with individuals who failed what conventional medicine has to offer. Would you like to share with us your thoughts on that? That you talk about depression, and it's very sad.
Well, interestingly, in my opinion, the foundations of health begin obviously with the health of the parents.
Mm-hmm.
And so if either parent is nutritionally or otherwise deficient, it's going to affect the genes and the baby from birth. But that's almost impossible to change after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest single problem, in my opinion, in this country is unwanted children. And if you really come down to the basic, it's having a child outside of wedlock. 40% of all babies in this country are born out of wedlock, which means they weren't wanted. They were undesired from the moment of conception. And those babies have a very high incidence of premature birth. They come early, and that affects not only their health, but their brain, their mind. They have many, many more illnesses. They are deprived of normal human behavior, if you will, from conception. But even if the child is wanted and they have parents are both healthy, if the mother is put to sleep, it blocks what I call oxytocin grounding, because during delivery, a huge amount of oxytocin is put out and goes through the umbilical cord to the baby. Or if she's even given a spinal anesthetic, it blocks the ability to get the oxytocin to the child. But so if you take unwanted pregnancies and then you take being put to sleep or having a spinal anesthetic, we're up to probably right there, at least 70% of kids born today didn't get the oxytocin grounding. But even if the pregnancy was wonderful, the delivery was wonderful, there's a major trauma in the first 7 years of life, that can block that child's oxytocin production forever. And so we wind up basically with 40% of Americans clinically depressed and another 40% what I call subclinically depressed. That is, they're 1 or 2 points away from depression, but they sure are not happy. And that is the basis for the phenomenal number of significant lifelong and life-shortening illnesses in this country. Now, obviously, it's contributed to by crummy nutrition and pollution and all of those things throughout life as well. But that's the foundation.
Mm-hmm. And then, Dr. Shealy, you go on to say that your findings are reinforced by studies of adverse childhood experiences, such as 1 in 10 of the patients surveyed has grown up with domestic violence, 2 in 10 have been sexually abused, 3 in 10 have been physically abused, and that suggests that at least 60% of people had a crummy childhood. And then you say something that is absolutely shocking to me, and that those who abused were twice as likely to have heart disease and 4 times as likely to be depressed. Then diabetes, hypertension, and obesity are significantly increased in abused children. Can you tell us about that?
Oh, yeah. Well, again, what this really destroys is self-esteem. It destroys the ability of the individual to feel okay about him or herself. And that creates this thing that I call a miasma. It's sort of like a heavy cloud hanging over their mind, their personality. And then they don't eat well, they don't exercise adequately, they often, don't have very successful lives in general. And, all it takes to upset the control system of the body is that feeling that I'm not okay. I mean, that's really the underlying situation, is that I'm not okay. There's a wonderful book written back in the 70s, I'm Okay, You're Okay. And it really laid the foundation and emphasized how important it is for everyone to, ideally, to feel I'm okay. And if you feel okay, then you can do what I think we were here to do, or are here to do, and that is to help other people. But if
is that why school systems have made everybody a winner? So if you're going to play volleyball, everybody's a winner. If you play baseball, everybody's a champion. No matter what it is, everybody wins. Is that why they're doing that?
Well, that's actually not a bad idea. I think it can go to extremes, because it begins to if you take someone who really doesn't have talent, we are not all talented in every particular way. Mm-hmm. I mean, I personally have been reasonably good at playing racquetball, but no other sport. And to say that I could play baseball or football or even volleyball in a really good way is lying, really, and it's not going to help the child to exaggerate this. I think you need to feel okay if you're willing to try, but not that you're going to be the champion.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and a number of us who have been in high school and college have realized that, there are guys who are bigger, taller, heavier, stronger, and, they have a better chance of doing well on the football field than the guy who's 100 pounds. And,
exactly.
And I think that, and maybe the guy who's 100 pounds spends more time in the classroom and does better at, other things, maybe science or electronics or something like that. And so we can all achieve something.
Yeah,
but it takes
what's important. Find the place where you like it and excel at it because you can.
Mm-hmm. And that was one thing that I wanted to ask you about. And I'm not quite sure how to approach this subject, but last night, I spent yesterday with Mrs. Finelli and our son, and we went to the barn, and I took a small tractor out, and I pulled out a 1994 Suburban. And it was Mrs. Finelli's Suburban, and she drove it in Virginia. And when we got to Missouri, we just kind of parked it in the barn and haven't done much with it. Well, we pulled it out of the barn and took the mice nests out of under the hood and re-insulated some of the wires that the mouse decided that they were going to eat for some kind of a meal. And so we cleaned up the car and washed it with a power washer or the truck, and it actually looks like it's okay. It really does. So I decided that I was going to change the rear end ratio. It has 410 gears, which means that the input shaft to the axle will rotate. The engine will turn 4.1 times for each revolution of the tires or the wheels. And I decided to improve that because I'm kind of an efficiency nut. I'm passionate about efficiency, and I don't want to waste fuel. I don't want to waste anything. And I want to change those gears. Now, I've never done that before. I've worked on transmissions. I've worked on engines. I've raced cars, but I've never worked on changing a rear ratio of gears, a ring and pinion. And it's kind of complicated. It really is. It's not as simple as just putting two gears in. You have to use a dial indicator, and I don't have one of those either. And I was watching some videos last night on how to do this. So I spent about 2 hours learning what I need to know in order to start this project. Well, I've noticed that we really don't do those kinds of things anymore, meaning I don't think that young people are willing to tackle something that they've never done before as readily as maybe someone of my generation or your generation. Do you think that's true? That young people are less likely to give themselves a challenge, challenge themselves to do something that they've never done before?
Yep, absolutely. It's the dumbing down of America.
Mm-hmm. And I may fail at this. I may destroy a perfectly good rear axle. I don't think so. I mean, the chances are slim that I'm going to do that. But I don't see why if I pay attention and learn how to do it. And I'm very interested in machinery, and that's a new passion of mine. And I was at going to the meetup on Monday. I stopped at Grizzly Tool. It's a machinery company, and they sell a lot of interesting machines like mills and lathes and drills and saws and everything to work with wood and metal that you could possibly think of. And I was interested in buying a lathe so I can make parts, because I'm having trouble, finding some parts. And I met a Mennonite guy there, and he was looking at a lathe too. And I said, so what makes you want a lathe? And this is a pretty sophisticated piece of gear that he and I were looking at. And he said, well, I have these axles on these old buggies and that we ride around in, and I can't get the parts, can't get the axles, so I'm going to have to make them. So he's venturing out into an area that's new to him too. But what I've found is that machines like this, lathes, if they're on Craigslist and they're at a reasonable price, they're gone in one day. So there are some of us who are paying attention to these kinds of things, and others, I guess, aren't. Dr. Norman Shealy and I'll be right back right after these not top of the hour, third segment, commercials. We'll be right back. By now, you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPREPARES.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Hey neighbor, what are you doing digging? You had a heart attack last year.
Oh, I know. I was told no more hard labor.
Then why are you digging?
Well, I've been taking Extendovite. It's been approved to help my heart.
Extendovite? Is that a new drug?
No, not a drug. It's more like an herbal combination made from garlic and cayenne.
Herbal? How can that help?
Well, actually, we've taken herbs for thousands of years. Extendovite is doing the job for me.
Does your doctor know about Extendovite?
Yeah, my doctor knows, and he said it seems to be working for you, so don't stop taking it. I feel great taking Extendovite. I don't want to stop.
To order, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822, or visit our website at heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
You've heard them on Alex Jones. You've seen them on Ancient Aliens. Now come see them live at Contact in the Desert 2015 in Joshua Tree this May. Experience 4 full days of science-centered lectures, workshops, intensives, and fieldwork on ancient astronauts, extraterrestrial intelligence, human origins, crop circles, contact experiences, UFO sightings, and more. Meet Chariots of the Gods author Eric von Daniken, Ancient Aliens host Giorgio A. Tsoukalos, New York Times bestselling author David Wilcock, Dead Doctors Don't Lie author Dr. Joel Wallach, astronauts Edgar Mitchell and Story Musgrave, Earth Files publisher Linda Moulton Howe, author Jim Mars, and many of the world's most respected researchers and scientists exploring answers to one of the greatest questions of all time. More speakers, more panels, more things to do. Join us at the Joshua Tree Retreat Center, which has a long history of sightings and contact experiences. For advance tickets and conference schedule, go to contactinthedesert.com. That is contactinthedesert.com.
Can Heart and Body Extract help with other ailments besides heart conditions, high blood pressure, clogged arteries, or unbalanced cholesterol? It did for Karen.
I've been using Heart and Body Extract for approximately 2 weeks. I've had an earwax buildup problem for many years, with over-the-counter stuff not working at all. I had very poor hearing due to this earwax buildup. Well, after 2 weeks of taking Heart and Body Extract, my earwax buildup almost completely cleared up. Could this be the effect of better body circulation?
Heart and Body Extract is an effective 100% organic nutritional supplement specially formulated to allow your body to heal itself.
My hearing is almost completely back to normal. I'm amazed.
Order by calling 866-295-5305 or online at hbextract.com. That's 866-295-5305 or hbextract.com. Heart and Body Extract for long and healthy life.
KDArmor.com is your one-stop shop for the most affordable body armor, period. With packages starting at $169.99 and free shipping on every order. KD offers soft armor and rifle threat rated armor up to level 4. Go to KDArmor.com and get your body armor today while you still can. Mention this ad and receive a free tactical scarf for a limited time with any body armor package. That's CATIarmor.com. Come and take it.
Attention, do you owe money to the IRS or have years of unfiled returns? Are you being audited or receiving threatening letters? If the answer is yes, you need help. The IRS can seize your property and assets, impose fines and penalties, garnish your wages, and even go after your bank account. Don't take on the IRS by yourself. Don't let the IRS destroy your life. Take action now. Call our team of experts for a free and confidential initial evaluation. We've helped thousands resolve their tax problems. Let us help you. 800-261-7073. 800-261-7073.
Dr. Shealy, I've known you for years now, and the person that I know as Dr. Shealy is one who is an experimenter, a tinkerer, someone who is passionate about improving all kinds of things. And I don't believe that you're willing to just sit back and not try to improve something that's in front of you. I think you're always thinking about that. Am I right or wrong about that?
You got it.
Yeah. Okay. So what do we do, Dr. Shealy? You are passionate about making things better. At the farm, everything around you, helping people with their health and making that better. How do we re-stimulate innovation in the rest of us in America? How do we do that? How do we get back what we have lost? Is it something that we can do within a generation, or can't we do it?
I doubt we can do it in a generation. I think we could do it in about 3.
Okay.
But it really takes it needs to go viral in current terminology. The idea that, number one, in my opinion, you're okay if you've never harmed anyone purposefully. It's that simple. Let's just, if you haven't robbed, raped, murdered, harmed somebody purposefully, you're okay. You never did anything wrong. And that's where it starts. And we need to get that across to people. And once they realize, yeah, I'm okay. I didn't never harm anybody. Then you take care of yourself. Once you start taking care of yourself, then you have energy left over to begin to help other people. That, to me, is the basis of life.
And at the meetup, you were talking about something that I thought was absolutely fascinating. I'm talking about last Monday's meetup, a couple days ago. We talked about unfinished business in a previous life. And you can't be healthy unless you get to that point where you can fix the damage from a previous life. Can you share with us how that works?
Well, yes, I have no doubt whatsoever that reincarnation is the way it is. I don't believe in it. I know that is the way it is. I had my first past life experience in 1972, and I've had about 30 since that time. And I've had a couple of lives I'm not proud of, but I can say that most of the others that I am aware of, I have been helping people. And yet, in this life, my greatest trauma certainly was the man who came and jerked my neck and dislocated my spine and paralyzed me. And that was 20 years ago. And I realized when it happened that this had to be karmic. And karmic means something hung over from past experiences. And it turns out that although I'm a pretty good guy in the last several lives, several hundred years ago, I was a mean SOB. And I had this guy murdered. And I'm not proud of that, but it's past. And hopefully my karma with him is over. And I still got residual. I've got some weakness and spasticity in my legs. And I don't dwell on it because, to me, I'm done with that. And I hope he's done with me in this and future lives now. But everything is related to, all the unfinished business, anger, guilt, anxiety, depression from previous lives, reinforced by something in this life that brings it out. And I've done hundreds and hundreds of past life sessions. And, of course, you've experienced one of those. You're the only one I've ever videotaped.
What was your reaction to my past life regression, Dr. Shealy?
Well, it was not what I would call a terribly traumatic one, compared to some that I've experienced. But it was hopefully, useful to you to gaining overall insight. And that's what it's about.
Yep. Dr. Shealy performed a past life regression on me on video months and months and months ago. And I saw myself as a rebel. as someone who was just not going to let what appeared to be the British take over our country and run roughshod over us, the redcoats. And now it's kind of like my feeling about the bluecoats. I'm not going to let them.
Let's say you've got the good aspects of that life still going on.
If the IRS has garnished your paycheck or seized money from your bank account, you need to get professional tax help now. Fast action is required to put a halt to these aggressive IRS collection tactics. You can count on the knowledgeable team of tax professionals at Wall & Associates. With over 30 years of experience, Wall & Associates has settled the tax problems of thousands of taxpayers for a small fraction of what they owed. For a free face-to-face consultation, call 1-800-425-4610 to put a wall between you and the IRS. 1-800-425-4610 or look for us on the web at wallandassociates.net. We solve tax problems. If you hire Wall & Associates today, you'll never have to talk to the IRS again. To stop the levies and seizures today, take action now. Call Wall & Associates at 1-800-425-4610. Wall & Associates, 1-800-425-4610. Based on actual cases, results may vary, not a solicitation for legal services.
We all know that Berkey water purification systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 6 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey water filtration systems. The Berkey Light systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light system today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $231, and the Berkey Guy will ship your order free of charge. With the purchase of a Berkey Light, the Berkey Guy is also offering a set of fluoride and arsenic filters for only $39.99. That's over 30% off the retail price. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at goberkey.com. That's goberkey.com.
You pick up the receiver. With your heart racing and sweat dripping from your forehead, you finally muster the courage to dial the number to call into your favorite talk radio show. It rings once, twice, and then...
Hello, it's GCN. What's your name and the state you're calling from?
Surprised you got through, you squeak out.
Jason from Minnesota.
Please hold.
As you patiently wait for your turn, you begin to daydream about being a famous talk radio host and what it would be like to have your own show.
Jason from Minnesota, you're up.
Millions of loyal listeners worldwide waiting to call and talk to you.
Caller, are you there?
Cheering crowds surround you, calling out your name.
Jason! Jason!
Going once, twice. Okay, we gotta move on to the next caller.
You blew it.
Huh? Wait, no!
Interact with the hosts you're listening to right now, online at gcnlive.com. Click on the community link. Engage with other listeners. Ask questions. Start debates. Don't agree with the host? Let them know. Be a part of the community at gcnlive.com.
Everyone all set? Cocked, locked, blissed. Hour number 2 with Dr. Norm Shealy. I just got an email from Joey in Michigan. And the email has a link, a modern day Jeremiah Johnson tells why and how to become self-sufficient. And it's an interview on Alex Jones' broadcast. Rich Sheben, USAPreparedness.com instructor who lives in Montana, off-grid, was interviewed by David Knight on the Alex Jones show. So I posted a link on our website if you would like to see that. So that's ready to go. Dr. Norman Shealy's with us. Dr. Shealy, on Monday at the meetup, one of our students showed an image to you about a skin cancer on a woman's face, and the skin cancer was this person's wife, who uses a cell phone every day. And the skin cancer, he came up to me before the meetup started, and he showed me this, and he showed me the skin cancer on this picture of a woman's face, and I said, "Who's that?" And he said, "It's my wife." And I said, "You need to tell Dr. Shealy about this tonight. Please make sure that you tell him." And Dr. Shealy, do you think that there is a correlation between this woman's skin cancer, middle-aged lady, and use of a cell phone? Is that possible?
Well, it certainly could be. I mean, let's face it. I don't use a cell phone except what I would consider an extremely urgent thing, and I don't use one of the modern dumb phones even then. And when I say dumb phones, I believe the reason I call these so-called smartphones dumb is I think they dumb you down in many, socially and otherwise. I think they are a great disservice. That's the kindest word I can put it, to the future of the human race. And they do put out toxic electromagnetic energy. So it's probably a combination of a lifetime of maybe too much exposure to sun without proper antioxidants in our body, plus the use of a cell phone. But, now to me, one that severe needs surgery. There is a place for modern surgery, and that should be taken off and could almost certainly be cured with good surgery.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's quite alarming. And so I asked, at the end of the meetup, I asked this particular student, who will remain nameless, about the cell phone. And he said, well, she has two. She has a job where she works at an organization where they require her to be on call. And so she has her personal cell phone, plus she has the company cell phone. So she has, double the exposure of electromagnetic radiation all the time because she keeps both of them with her. And now when she uses her cell phone, she uses it as a speakerphone and she holds it away from her. However, Dr. Shealy, you're blasting your hand with direct contact electromagnetic radiation, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. As you hold your cell phone. So that was something that was very concerning to me. And class, as you know, I do not have a cell phone anymore. I don't have one. So for those of you who call a cell phone number, I'm not going to be able to answer it because I don't have one. and I'll tell you what, I made the announcement last Monday at the meetup that it's a freeing adventure when you get rid of your cell phone. It is, we believe that we have to have one just in case we have an emergency. Well, I can tell you that you can do, if you, for example, on the farm, I have a walkie-talkie. It's a little ham rig, but it's not transmitting unless I hit the button. And it is not next to my ear when I hit the button. I can hold this thing, away from me and talk into it in here. So it's not, it's not constantly transmitting, here I am, here I am, here I am, with a cell tower as a cell phone does. This is, if you don't push the button, it's not transmitting. It's as simple as that. So I suggest that, you may want to consider getting rid of your cell phone the same way I have, and Dr. Shealy, and he only has one for emergencies. And Dr. Shealy, can you tell us about how much time per month you might spend on your cell phone?
I might spend 3 minutes.
Okay.
In a month.
3 minutes a month. 3 minutes a month. And I would suggest that most people spend at least 3 minutes an hour, on average.
Oh, yeah.
At least.
I agree.
Cell phones.
Now, of course, just since you brought that up, I'm talking on my so-called land phone, the old-fashioned Alexander Graham Bell type phone with a cord on it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And right next to me in the studio and in the kitchen and other locations in the house, we have those old-fashioned telephones as well. And so we use a landline. So if anyone's going to call us, it's going to be via landline, and that number is on the internet. Oh, by the way, for those of you who have tried to call, and if the phone just rings and rings, well, that's because we're not able to answer the phone because we're either I'm either on the tractor outside, and remember, please, I'm a farmer, and so I'm not available, sitting by the phone 24 hours a day. It just doesn't happen. I am a farmer, and a lot of the time I'm outside working on equipment or on the farm or I'm with the cow. So please keep that in mind. And if you do call, please call before 9 o'clock at night. There are other people in the house and they don't answer the phone. They don't answer the phone. So if you let it ring 4 times, that's plenty. Okay. You don't have to let it ring 100 times because, my mom is here and it's really not, it's not helpful to my mom to hear the phone ring and ring and ring. She's not going to answer it. Okay. And Dr. Shealy, 7% iodine. That was something that you talked about, painting a couple times a day, the skin, if you have 7% iodine. Now, what do you use 7% iodine, which is available at a veterinarian supply, typically not available at the Chinese factory outlet? What would you use that for?
Well, you could use it for athlete's foot, for instance. It will kill fungi. You can use it for early skin cancer, not melanoma. I'm not sure about that, but the basal cell, which is the kind that was in that photograph that I saw the other night, or squamous cell, the precancerous or early cancerous skin lesions, it will totally take those away. It might take, depending on how advanced it is when you start, it might take 3 months of twice-a-day application, but it's pretty simple. You get a Q-tip, you dip it in the bottle, you put it on the skin lesion, and, it'll go away.
Okay. Are there any concerns about doing that? Could you harm yourself? Could you overdose by painting,
Well, you're not
area?
likely to overdose as far as the body as a whole is concerned, because it's a very small area you're putting it on. And so even at 7%, it's not going to be a toxic level to the body. Obviously, if it's too advanced already, it's not probably not going to stop the growth of it. And if the cancer continues to spread or enlarge in the first month, then I would go get it surgically removed, because this is one of the curable cancers. This is one of the few places where modern medicine can do a good job.
Okay. I don't know if you want to talk about this or not, but when you and I were seated at the booth before we started the meetup on Monday at Jimmy's Egg, you were telling me about this device that you have that uses light and sound and energy to invigorate and restore the body. Are you able to share with us what that's about, or is that for a later date?
No, absolutely. I do consider it one of the most important discoveries. I didn't create it. I began working with light and sound and music back in the early 70s, and I've done a number of experiments with it. The right kind of music can truly calm the body and the mind. And what the Barry McNew, who created energy genesis, in other words, creation of energy, has taken it a step further. It's actually like a huge chamber, and you can open the top and open the front all the way, and you walk in and lie down on this very pleasant bed, and then overhead there's a brilliant bright light, but in the center of that big bright light are 5 color lights, with green, blue, yellow, red, orange, etc. And then you close it up and turn on the music. And the music is unbelievably relaxing. I've practiced relaxation since 1972. And this will take you into the deepest possible state of relaxation while still being awake. And he showed me computerized brain maps, EEGs, of people in delta. Delta, the brain is functioning at between 1 and 3 cycles per second. It's hard to stay awake at that level, but you can, and you don't have to try. You sort of drift in and out a little bit, but what that does is reset the control mechanism, that thing in the hypothalamus, the true control mechanism of everything in your body is in that part of the brain. And it resets it at basic, healthy life. And the most exciting case I've seen, I've only had this thing a couple of weeks. It'll be 3 weeks Friday. A woman with early but unequivocal Parkinsonism. She had a moderate shake in her hand. After 2 treatments, the shake is gone. I mean, that is resetting the thermostat, son.
Dr. Shealy, and I will be right back. NormShealy.com, Norm, as Norman, SHEALY.com. And you can sign up for his free newsletter, the same one I get. We'll be right back. By now, you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
Hi, John Hubner from Midas Resources. Are you tired of watching your hard-earned assets dwindle away? As government spending is out of hand and the Federal Reserve is creating in excess of $20 billion a week, are you tired of stockbroking away your hard-earned money? Is this market a setup for a crash greater than 1987? Too many of today's policies resemble those that led to the collapse of 1929. This is John Hubner, and that was me in 2007. And we all know what happened when the subprime credit bubble burst. By March 2009, the dollar lost 50% of its value. The entire U.S. banking system was on the verge of collapsing. Like all financial problems of the past, is history about to repeat itself? Call me, John Hubner, at 1-800-686-2237, extension 129, before it's too late to protect yourself. Will the oncoming catastrophe take all private IRAs, 401ks with it? There is a way to protect your hard-earned assets. Call me, John Hubner, at 1-800-686-2237, extension 129.
You've heard them on Alex Jones. You've seen them on Ancient Aliens. Now come see them live at Contact in the Desert 2015 in Joshua Tree this May. Experience 4 full days of science-centered lectures, workshops, intensives, and fieldwork on ancient astronauts, extraterrestrial intelligence, human origins, crop circles, contact experiences, UFO sightings, and more. Meet Chariots of the Gods author Eric von Daniken, Ancient Aliens host Giorgio A. Tsoukalos, New York Times bestselling author David Wilcock, Dead Doctors Don't Lie author Dr. Joel Wallach, astronauts Edgar Mitchell and Story Musgrave, Earth Files publisher Linda Moulton Howe, author Jim Mars, and many of the world's most respected researchers and scientists exploring answers to one of the greatest questions of all time. More speakers, more panels, more things to do. Join us at the Joshua Tree Retreat Center, which has a long history of sightings and contact experiences. For advance tickets and conference schedule, go to contactinthedesert.com. That is contactinthedesert.com.
We live in a complicated society. Stressful issues are always popping up. Have you ever been treated unfairly by someone? Have you ever been overcharged for a repair? Have you ever signed a contract or a document? Worried about identity theft? How many times have you been in those unique situations where you just wanted to call an attorney to find out if you're right or wrong, or what your legal rights are? But every time you think about calling an attorney, what do you think about first? That's right. Who do you call, and how much will it cost? Our friends at Legal Shield have found a solution. With a nationwide network of 6,900 attorneys who average over 19 years of experience, Legal Shield's law firms take over 40,000 calls per week helping their members. For less than $20 per month, you can have access to Legal Shield on everything from the trivial to the traumatic. Let Legal Shield stand up for your rights at lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com. Or call 855-340-SAVE, 855-340-7283.
Results will vary from case to case.
Dr. Shealy's with us, and we're talking about Barry McNew and energy genesis, light and sound therapy. Dr. Shealy, what do you think the future of energy genesis might be for improving health and so forth?
Unlimited, practically. I mean, if it does what I've seen it do so far, I believe it has, just remarkable potential for essentially resetting the thermostat to basic health. For instance, Barry, when he installed the Energy Genesis at our clinic, showed me a picture of a 5-year-old child with severe cerebral palsy. Just looking at the body in sort of a contorted state, you could see that the child had no teeth. He had a broad, wide open mouth with no teeth. Within 1 year, he'd grown a full set of teeth, and he was standing. And with another year, he's walking. And so, I mean, if you could take somebody with that kind of brain damage and help begin to repair it that much, I think it's unlimited. Obviously, it needs lots more research. But at this point, I would say I know of nothing as excellent and good as this for overall health. We're working on it with diabetic neuropathy. We're working on it with some pain things, some depressed people, and, of course, early Parkinsonism. And later we might do more advanced Parkinsonism.
Dr. Shealy, I have been noticing, and maybe it's not Parkinson's, but I've been noticing more people with their hands shaking than I have ever seen in my life. Is this a new phenomenon, or has it always been like this?
I think there is an increase in all kinds of so-called degenerative diseases. Degenerative, means the body is falling apart excessively. Yeah. And Parkinsonism is just one of many such things, as is Alzheimer's. And both of them are some of the most obvious of the major degenerative diseases. It's a combination of poor nutrition and toxicity, primarily.
Okay. I've heard medical doctors use the term vitality or lack of vitality. Is that still a term that's in vogue?
Oh, yeah. I mean, basically, vital just means essential, essential to life.
Okay.
And it can, lack of vitality can manifest in almost anything from high blood pressure to a rapid heartbeat to diabetes, and on it goes.
I've been thinking about the Energy Genesis, and I've been thinking about, since you've been discussing this, I've been thinking about Timothy Leary, and Timothy Leary said that, anyone alive today will live to be 1,000 years old because we can make new parts. And he didn't make it. He himself didn't make it. So I guess that was a prediction that just didn't materialize. However, with Energy Genesis, Dr. Shealy, are you talking about, well, I guess if you have an amputated leg, we're not talking about growing another leg, but are we talking about restoring the brain? Let's say we've had some, as we get older, the brain cells die. And are we talking about renewing the brain? Are we talking about renewing lung tissue? Are we talking about a digestive system that it's just not functioning properly and having that repair itself with nutrition and Energy Genesis? Am I on the right track, or am I confused?
Well, yeah, within I think obviously some limits, Vince. But of course, in another month you're going to be tested to see how much longer you've gained in life over the last year.
Yeah. We're talking about the essential oils.
Yeah, and rejuvenating the telomeres. I mean, next to the reason I think Air Bliss is my most important discovery is it helps you feel good right now. And that's so important for so many people who don't feel good about themselves and life in general.
Well, let me tell you, Dr. Shealy, my mom is on that same plan.
I know.
And yesterday,
I'm so eager to see that dear lady's telomeres next month.
Yesterday, we found her a mile away from home. She was picking flowers down the road. We'll be right back. By now you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Why do over 50% of North Americans suffer from some form of chronic ailment? Could it be due to a toxic overload? It's time to take back your life. Get the lead out as well as the cadmium, mercury, and calcium. Extendovite is a garlic cayenne supplement with 5 other herbs that acts like a natural Drano, cleaning out the stored toxins, restoring your energy and youthfulness that we've lost. If you would like to live your life free of sickness, pain, or fear, then Extendovite is for you. Available in either capsules or liquid, you too can see why Extendovite is the #1 heart drop available. To order, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822, or visit our website at heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
For over 5 years, you've been hearing about the Berkey guy, so you may know a few things about him. For example, you are well aware of the superior quality and effectiveness of Berkey water filters and accessories. But did you know the Berkeys have had independent lab tests done to prove just how effective they are? It's true, and he can email you the test results. Just visit goberkey.com. You may also know that the Berkey guy has helped tens of thousands of people get better prepared. Now here's something you may not know. GoBerkey.com has amazing specials and deals all the time on a wide variety of survival and preparedness products, most ready to ship same day. Visit the Berkey Guy at GoBerkey.com and be sure to click the red Products on Sale Now button. You can always call toll-free 877-886-3653. Again, that's 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com, home of the Berkey Guy. Heart and Body Extract continues to receive positive testimonials from people who have experienced amazing results, like Reed.
I just wanted to send you a quick but a very big thank you for Heart and Body Extract. I've been on the formula for nearly a month now, and the improvement in the circulation of my legs has been simply amazing.
Reed was facing a tough choice.
I was facing surgery due to the severity of the 100% blocked arteries in both my legs. And my decision, waiting for surgery, to say no and try Heart and Body Extract instead, has been thankfully the right decision.
And the result?
I can now walk up steps without noticeable pain.
Order Heart and Body Extract at 866-295-5305, 866-295-5305, or hbextract.com. Heart and Body Extract for a long and healthy life.
The Genesis Communications Network is one of America's premier broadcasters of captivating talk radio. We thank you for listening. Now, just imagine there are thousands of people who are just as passionate about radio as you are. But what you may not realize is how easy and affordable it is to advertise with us. Radio commercials for your business could be heard on hundreds of radio stations across the U.S. every day. We can help you by creating an effective radio advertising campaign for your company. From script writing to producing your or commercial, just like the one you're listening to right now. No other network provides the level of customer service we do. When it comes to radio advertising, we are your one-stop shop. And no matter how big or small your business is, we can help. Email us at advertise@gcnlive.com, and an experienced advertising executive will help you take the first step towards driving more customers to your business or website. Advertise@gcnlive.com. Easy, affordable, effective.
Dr. Shealy's with us. And Dr. Shealy, you and I and our meetup class on Monday talked about the protocol. And you've developed a protocol for us to use diatomaceous earth. We provided the diatomaceous earth from earthworkshealth.com, the same diatomaceous earth that we give our animals that Mrs. Finelli, my mom, and I take. And can you talk about that protocol and how we are going to conduct this study?
Right. It all came back. Actually, I think we talked maybe 3 weeks ago today originally about your finding that when you added just a half teaspoon a day, it gave you increased energy.
Yes.
And I felt that it might be because of its detoxing ability, or, that's one of the major things that food-grade diatomaceous earth can do for you. It binds toxins in the intestine and takes them out. Well, I began looking at the literature, and basically, diatomaceous earth has many, many benefits. Number one, it kills parasites. That's as good as anything by itself, because parasites certainly are difficult to diagnose in many people, etc., and they're not uncommon. Secondly, it helps to bind toxic metals such as lead and mercury and aluminum, and take them out. And that allows the intestines to work more effectively and efficiently in absorbing the good stuff. And then there's one excellent study from Austria in which they gave young individuals with elevated cholesterol 3 teaspoons a day of diatomaceous earth with highly statistically significant decreases in cholesterol and triglycerides. And so safe. I mean, absolutely safe. So what we're doing is just asking people to evaluate in their own body, starting with a half teaspoon and gradually increasing it up to 3 teaspoons a day if they feel good doing that. And we'll see in about 6 or 7 weeks how well they're doing taking food-grade diatomaceous earth.
Mm-hmm. Right. And I'm really excited about that. Dr. Shealy, I can tell you that we have a cat who somehow showed that he's got worms. And, these cats all have jobs, and their jobs are to check out the farm and make sure that we don't have mice that want to destroy our farm equipment. So they're natural hunters. And as a result of being out there, they just seem to get worms. Well, instead of giving a wormer medicine to the cats, what I did was I mixed some powdered milk, about a teaspoon of powdered milk, about a half a teaspoon of powdered milk and a half a teaspoon of diatomaceous earth in a small cup, and add a little bit of water, and stirred it up. And it was the consistency of, let's say milk out of a bottle, not the, milk with fat out of a bottle. And I gave that to the cat. The cat had it for a couple days. Seems like the worms are gone. I'm going to continue it for a week. And at the meetup, we have wonderful students at the meetup and instructors, and they volunteer all kinds of interesting tidbits and information and stories of how they've implemented, let's say, protocols in their lives. Well, there was a lady who just said what she does is, and has done for quite a while, is she just sprinkles a very small amount of diatomaceous earth, food grade. It has to be food grade. It has to be food grade. Let me say it a different way. It has to be food grade, so it's not toxic, on her dog's food. Just sprinkles it right on top. Dog eats it and does not have worms. So it seems that this is it's not new. What we're talking about is not new. It's just very inexpensive. It's a great way to treat parasites in the body. And I'm looking forward to applying it on the leaves of some of our plants in the garden to see how well it kills the insects that want to attack our tomatoes and peppers and so forth. So I'm looking forward to doing that. But you're sure, Dr. Shealy, that in your mind that this is very, very safe?
Yes. You know, as long as it's food grade, I would say any human being could take it. Now, obviously, in a young child, I would be careful about the dose and that sort of thing. But in adults, I say starting with a half teaspoon, like anything, when you're going to change, you know, the other thing, by the way, it's going to do is improve the probiotics in your intestine. Remember, the little bacteria that live in your intestine are critical to your overall health and your absorption of good food, et cetera, et cetera. So diatomaceous earth improves the probiotic bacteria in your intestinal tract.
Here's what I've noticed, Dr. Shealy, that I am hungry less. I really am. I don't feel the need to eat as much as I did before. Not that I ate a lot before, but I don't think I feel the need to eat as much as I did before. And let me read something along the same lines from one of our students. His name is Jay. And Jay wrote me an email about Guns 80, and he wrote me an email about ProPure water filtration systems and also diatomaceous earth. And it says here, I also wanted to say that I've started diatomaceous earth after talking to Aaron Dakins at the Get Prepared Expo. I've been having a hard time getting off Coca-Cola and sugar. But after starting DE, my cravings have really stopped. What does Dr. Shealy think about this effect?
I think that's fabulous. And I want to, I'm going to write a newsletter on this and mention it and hope that I'll get more reports from people, because let's face it, addiction to sugar is one of the modern diseases and causes many, many serious problems.
Dr. Shealy, I can tell you that I have had exactly the same results as Jay. I don't have a desire to eat sugar. I don't need sugar. I mean, at least that's what it appears to be in with me. So I'd love to know from our class if you have started taking diatomaceous earth, and please don't if a half a teaspoon is good, don't take a cup. Okay, just let's start slowly, please. And I'd love to know if it has reduced your desire for sugar as well. I have a friend who is a dentist, and when he comes over to the house, we'll offer him a cup of coffee, and I'll say, "Well, would you like some coffee with your sugar?"
And mine, would you like some coffee with your half and half? Because I just can't drink it without.
And I'll ask him. I'll say, "So what do you do for a living?" And he'll kind of smile, because when I was growing up, sugar caused cavities. I mean, everybody knew that. We were told over and over and over again, if you eat candy or sugar, you'll get cavities. Well, he's in the dental business, and but he likes sugar. So I think I'd like to introduce him to diatomaceous earth and see if it has an impact with his craving for sugar. Let's see. Dr. Shealy, we have Steve on the line. He has a question about iodine. Welcome, Steve.
Thank you, Vincent. Dr. Shealy, I don't know. I heard a minute ago you were talking about iodine, and many years ago, doctors would prescribe, or even a person go to a pharmacist and get something called GD link compound, as G is in George, D is in David, link, Link, compound. It was composed of iodine, and I think alcohol is a mix, and used it for a throat swab for sore throats. Are you familiar with this at all?
In fact, I am not, but I'm just looking it up on the internet because I've never heard of it even. GD Link. Well, it didn't come up with GD Link, so I don't know what that is. A lot of iodine does have an alcohol component, but it doesn't have to have. And your FDA no longer allows a high concentration of alcohol over the counter because apparently it can be used as a basis to make amphetamines. But you can still get the 7%, which is necessary for true sterilization of the skin. You can still get it from the vet supply place.
You mean the iodine, 7%?
Yeah.
Right. And I was told by a pharmacist, in fact, he could order it in, but something about the mucous membranes or some deal that they really didn't allow it. But
well, I wouldn't put 7% in the mouth.
Okay. Well, this stuff is a real godsend when it comes to that sore throat that just won't go away. And we used it for years. It tastes terrible. But when the sore throat, you finally broke down and go into mom and say, swab the throat. And it would really help.
Interesting.
Dr. Shealy, when I was younger, and I'm thinking 7 to 10 years old, I remember what Steve is talking about. I remember going to a doctor, and actually this doctor improved the delivery system, and he had a little spray bottle with a bulb at the end and a long reach sprayer, let's say 5 inches long. He could hold with his left hand the bottle, squeeze with the bulb with his right hand, and the delivery system, could spray right down your throat. And I believe he used iodine. Steve, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah,
Steve, you there?
That's what it sounds like.
It was just...
Steve, you're breaking up, and we're going into a break. Dr. Shealy and I are going into a break. So hold that thought.
Research, I had one farm.
Hold that thought.
Something that related.
And
to
we'll
that.
be right back. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit guns80.com, guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
You've heard them on Alex Jones. You've seen them on Ancient Aliens. Now come see them live at Contact in the Desert 2015 in Joshua Tree this May. Experience 4 full days of science-centered lectures, workshops, intensives, and fieldwork on ancient astronauts, extraterrestrial intelligence, human origins, crop circles, contact experiences, UFO sightings, and more. Meet Chariots of the Gods author Eric von Daniken, Ancient Aliens host Giorgio A. Tsoukalos, New York Times bestselling author David Wilcock, Dead Doctors Don't Lie author Dr. Joel Wallach, astronauts Edgar Mitchell and Story Musgrave, Earth Files publisher Linda Moulton Howe, author Jim Mars, and many of the world's most respected researchers and scientists exploring answers to one of the greatest questions of all time. More speakers, more panels, more things to do. Join us at the Joshua Tree Retreat Center, which has a long history of sightings and contact experiences. For advance tickets and conference schedule, go to contactinthedesert.com. That is contactinthedesert.com.
If the IRS has garnished your paycheck or seized money from your bank account, you need to get professional tax help now. Fast action is required to put a halt to these aggressive IRS collection tactics. You can count on the knowledgeable team of tax professionals at Wall & Associates. With over 30 years of experience, Wall & Associates has settled the tax problems of thousands of taxpayers for a small fraction of what they owed. For a free face-to-face consultation, call 1-800-425-4610 to put a wall between you and the IRS. 1-800-425-4610 or look for us on the web at wallandassociates.net. We solve tax problems. If you hire Wall & Associates today, you'll never have to talk to the IRS again. To stop the levies and seizures today, take action now. Call Wall & Associates at 1-800-425-4610. Wall & Associates. 1-800-425-4610. Based on actual cases, results may vary, not a solicitation for legal services.
If you constantly feel run down and tired, your pH level might be low and your body could be full of toxins. If what you drink is not at a pH level of 8 or higher, you are inviting bacteria and acid to thrive in your body. But there is something you can do. Simply add 10 drops of AlkaVision Plasma pH drops to your water to help your body rid itself of acidic waste, increase oxygen, and raise your pH balance to optimum levels. AlkaVision Plasma pH drops combine a unique formula of the most alkaline minerals in the world, alkalizing the water you drink, ridding your body of acidic waste and toxins, and helping you regain energy and vibrant health. And studies show viruses, bacteria, and toxins cannot survive in an alkaline, high pH environment. Order your bottle of AlkaVision Plasma pH drops at alkavision.com. That's ALKA vision.com. Or call 269-409-1776. 269-409-1776. Alkalize your body. Supercharge your health at alkavision.com today.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99 and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows, pause and rewind live TV, even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
Class Dr. Shealy is with us, normshealy.com, NORMSHEALY.com. If you'd like to sign up for his free newsletter, please do. normshealy.com. Same newsletter I get. Steve's with us, and Steve had a question about iodine. During the break, I called our local farm supply company in our little hamlet of 100 people here in Missouri. And I asked if they had 7% iodine. And they said, yep, we have triodine, TRIODINE 7, 16 ounces, $11.50 for 16 ounces. And it says here that triple source of iodine tincture, 7%, antiseptic and disinfectant for topical application to disinfect superficial wounds, cuts, abrasions, etc. And then it says, but it cannot be shipped to Alaska, Hawaii, Canada, looks Puerto Rico, let's see, someplace else. And it says triple source of iodine tincture, 7%. And it says, will not crystallize, cannot be used to make illegal drugs. So it seems that there was a problem with the use of this iodine being made to produce methamphetamines. And so the USDA moved to restrict the use or the sale of it so that you can't get more than 2.2% iodine in a product unless you get it through a company that is registered to handle products like this, and that would be like a veterinarian supply. So that's what I found out, Steve.
Well, I know I had a friend. All the older pharmacists around had died, and I had a friend who was a pharmacist, and he didn't know about it, but he did research on it, and he found a reference to this that involved a mixture of iodine and alcohol, and for some reason, you couldn't just take the liquid or whatever. Dr. Shealy may know what I'm talking about here, but he had to have a crystallized form of iodine and dissolve that or whatever and mix it with alcohol. But these are kind of one of these old cures that, has been kind of eliminated or lost in time. And I do know, even like I said, it tastes terrible, and you just swab a little bit through your throat and stuff like that. But I have had my sons, when it gets really bad, I know it's bad when they come and say, Dad, have you got that throat stuff? And, I'll give it a swab, and it will knock it down, doctor.
Well, I believe you. Many years ago when I made my first trip to India, I was able to get pure iodine crystals and make just a supersaturated solution of that with just water. And I took that with me, and just a few drops of that in a quart of water will essentially sterilize it and protect you from a lot of the bugs that you pick up in countries like India. But you can no longer buy that, pure crystals of iodine.
Well, I did have him mix. I carried this for years, up into my 30s or 40s, in and out of the country, just in case I caught one of those terrible sore throats. And he was able to mix some up for me. And he said, how much do you want? And I said, make a quart, which is kind of like a lifetime supply, if you're talking about use it just a swab amount. But anyway, I was fortunate I'm glad I have it. It always did the job. And I'm sorry that it's disappeared out of the mix of medicines, simple cures or whatever like that for people to use.
I'm going to do some research, and I'll report back in the next week or so what I find out, surveying some of the supply houses. I'll call our veterinarian and see what we can find out about this. Hey, Steve, thanks so much.
Yeah, thanks, Vincent. Bye.
Okay. Let's see. We have Ken. Ken, you're on with Dr. Norm Shealy and me, Vin Finelli. Welcome. We're going to have to go real fast. Oh, okay. Got it. Okay, Dr. Shealy, it looks like we're out of time. And I want to thank you for...
An hour passes quickly.
And you're going to be on hayhouseradio.com, hayhouse radio.com in 1 hour and 3 minutes from now. 1 hour and 3 minutes. If you'd like to get some more of Dr. Shealy, every Wednesday at 12 Central Time on Hay House Radio. Dr. Shealy, class, above all, honesty and integrity, what happens next is up to you. Dr. Shealy, thanks so much for being with us.
KDArmor.com is your one-stop shop for the most affordable body armor, period. With packages starting at $169.99 and free shipping on every order. KD offers soft armor and rifle threat rated armor up to level 4. Go to KDArmor.com and get your body armor today while you still can. Mention this ad and receive a free tactical scarf for a limited time with any body armor package. That's CATIarmor.com. Come and take it.
By now you know that wireless technology like cell phones do in fact pose dangers to the health and privacy of everyone. Blockit Pocket's wide range of products are unmatched in providing the protection you deserve. No scare tactics, just common sense. BlockitPocket.com offers quality American-made options to alleviate and eliminate these invisible dangers. Learn more at BlockitPocket.com or call 888-315-9618. BlockitPocket.com, enhancing health and privacy.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Hey neighbor, what are you doing digging? You had a heart attack last year.
Oh, I know. I was told no more hard labor.
Then why are you digging?
Well, I've been taking Extendovite. It's been approved to help my heart.
Extendovite? Is that a new drug?
No, not a drug. It's more like an herbal combination made from garlic and cayenne.
Herbal? How can that help?
Well, actually, we've taken herbs for thousands of years. Extendovite is doing the job for me.
Does your doctor know about Extendovite?
Yeah, my doctor knows, and he said it seems to be working for you, so don't stop taking it. I feel great taking Extendovite. I don't want to stop.
To order, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822, or visit our website at heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendover.
Today.